I almost fell asleep when watching the latest Doctor Strange. Today's episode, I would like to share with you why I think Multiverse is the wrong direction for superhero movies and why I did not enjoy Doctor Strange as expected. Hello everyone, welcome back to Visual Literacy Hub. Long time no see, this is Angela. I created this channel to record my daily observations and analysis about this very visual world that we live in. My analysis is 100% personal, nothing professional. This is about you and I together to see, think, and share. Well, let the fun begin! If you love superhero movies, you must have noticed the word multiverse keeps popping up in the last couple of years. Exploring the multiverse in the movie and TV industry isn't anything new. In TV shows, we had Adventure Time, a long-running cartoon that plays with the idea of different universes multiple times throughout. We had Rick and Morty, a story about a scientist and his grandson exploring the multiverse. We had Stranger Things, where the upside down is another dimension existing in parallel to the human world. From my memory, the notion of the multiverse really started to draw my attention in the award-winning animated movie Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse in 2018. The latest Spider-Man movie, No Way Home, is of course another obvious example, which brought back the previous Spider-Man Andrew and Tobey alongside Tom. In 2016, Dr.Strange demonstrated the astral plane and other dimensions such as the mirror dimension. In this latest Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, the concept of multiverse becomes the main idea to be explored and visualized. Most recently in cinemas, Michelle Yeoh is fighting throughout different universes in everything, everywhere, all at once. Since they don't have to be bound by the constraints of continuity, movie producers could use the concept of multiverse to solve the dilemma of long-standing franchise. They no longer need to worry about actors and actresses of popular characters getting old, out of shape, or disinterested. In the cinematic multiverse, they can simply claim that a new movie featuring a popular character played by a different actor or actress is set in a different universe. Besides using it as a shortcut to justify recast and reboot, when used effectively and creatively, the concept of multiverse itself can be used to create new stories and refreshing themes. For example, in the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, each Spider-Person has their own style and strength. After interacting with other Spider-Man and Spider-Woman from different universes, Miles learns how to not just be the expected, stereotypical Spider-Man, but to find his own characteristic and strength, which makes this Spider-Man movie stand out from the others. Other than these two obvious benefits, I think the concept of multiverse becomes pervasive because it fulfills our fantasy of living in alternative identities and have an infinite amount of possibilities. Human beings are trapped in a single timeline. Most of us have many regrets for the past and hesitation for future. When watching multiverse movies, we are given a roughly 90 minutes window to experience with the protagonist what is it like to have a choice about one's fate. What is it like to be given an opportunity to redeem our mistakes, choose another path, or never let go of a person we love. So, why do I still think multiverse is a wrong direction for superhero movies? First thing is that all the time travel and alternative universe are making it hard for us to keep our Marvel or DC movies in chronological order. Yes, the multiverse can bring fresh visual stimulation, but it can also create chaos for new audiences who are not that familiar with the previous series. The secret recipe to Marvel or DC superhero movies is that everyone can watch them without too much previous knowledge of the series. Movies like The Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man have no bar for new audiences to join, and that's why everyone can watch it with or without being a fan. But imagine if Avengers is to embrace multiverse entirely with 3 Tony, 4 Captain America, and 4 Captain Marvel. It would raise the bar for new audiences to join and make sense of what's happening. Secondly, it seems to me that the driving force behind exploring multiverse in movies such as Spider-Man No Way Home is nostalgia, which consumes the audience's passion for their beloved characters, but doesn't really add on too much development of the story. After watching Spider-Man, except for remembering 3 Spider-Man fighting side by side, I couldn't even recall any of the plot at all, and I don't remember the characters being evolved or developed in any way. It's really a one-off consumption of the audience nostalgia, and is unlikely to be working again next time. Most importantly, while Multiverse lifts the restriction on content creation, it also reduces the value of the existing story and characters. In most superhero movies, death is the ultimate reason behind the growth of main characters. However, when everything, including death, can be retrieved, the dramatic tension is instantly dissolved. Iron Man and Black Widow's sacrifice will no longer be grand and tragic. Aunt May's death is no longer needed for Spider-Man to become Spider-Man. All the battles, conflicts, and struggles of the past will seem unnecessary. Why would the heroes fight the villains so hard? Just go to another universe to get some help and you'll be fine. The power of death in movies is that it is irreversible but meaningful. If all of a sudden it is reversible, then it becomes meaningless. Although I don't think Multiverse is a good idea, it seems to be an inevitable one for movie companies to adopt for a short-term solution to the flop of superhero genre. After all, traditional superheroes and stories of them saving the world individually as a Lone Ranger can no longer meet the appetite of the audience. All they can do is to open up the multiverse, team up superheroes with other superheroes, or with different versions of themselves, to fight bigger and bigger villains. As I explained in my superhero episode, the show must go on and the money must continue to be earned. The multiverse is the Panadol to reduce immediate pain, but it's not a cure for their ongoing lack of originality and creativity. As an audience, I'm happy to see more superheroes, but I also want to see some new ones from a diverse background and a diverse setting, rather than 10 Tony Stark, 5 Wonder Woman, or 3 Batman. The reason why I didn't enjoy Doctor Strange is twofold. First, I thought I would enjoy the fancy CG of those various universes, but somehow I didn't. I wonder whether you feel the same, but as CG gets more fancier, I get sick of them pretty quickly. I still remember when I first watched Avatar many years ago. The CG was shockingly good, but so was the plot. So as much as the CG grabbed my attention, I still remember how much I enjoyed watching such an innovative story. It was never just about the CG. But nowadays, we have so many movies that have fantastic CG, but very assembly line, predictable stories and boring plots. We're so bombarded by the visuals of the movie, but it's harder to find movies with just good, creative, unique stories that will make you want to watch it again and again. This might upset some Doctor Strange fans, but honestly, I forgot 99% of the movie the next day besides the desperate mom part. But when I retrieve my memory about the last Doctor Strange, I still remember most of the story. And that tells me something, that although the CG in this movie is impeccable, the story is simply weak. Producers, please stop feeding us visuals to our eyes, but start feeding us good stories to our minds and heart. Speaking of desperate mom, here comes the second point I didn't enjoy so much. I didn't like how the mother figure is portrayed in this movie. There is something that's just uncomfortable to watch when Wanda's love for her children leads to craziness and desperation, when obviously there are other ways to achieve what she wants in this movie. Can mom just be, I don't know, normal? Do they have to be portrayed as either an overprotective, sacrificing mom or a crazy mom? Can't they be intellectual, strategic, or funny moms? Take a step back. When I look at all the superhero movies, on average, most male characters such as Tony Stark, Batman, or Bucky are portrayed to be more complicated in their characteristic than the female characters, who have to be either beautiful and noble, or evil and powerful. When can we have more complicated, multi-dimensional female characters who are allowed to have obvious strengths and flaws at the same time, just like a normal person? You may argue that Wanda has both obvious strengths and flaws. Doesn't she fit? Yes and no. The problem with this character is that the flaw side of her is portrayed very arbitrarily in this movie. as if she suddenly does not care about anything and anyone in the world she tried so hard to guard in the previous movies. Totally lost her mind because she wants her children in another universe. Okay, you may argue that the TV show WandaVision may justify more about why Wanda becomes desperate. But one, many viewers like me didn't watch the TV show before the movie, so this sudden personality change doesn't seem consistent. And two, I actually did some homework and find out the ending of that TV show, spoiler alert here, is that Wanda chooses to let go of her imagination. So why all of a fuss again? Put simply, I would really love to see more female characters given the chance and enough time to grow, to evolve, and to have more complex personalities than stereotypical female traits. Because these visuals and settings in media and movies really influence how people in this society view women and what they are capable of achieving. That's all I want to share with you today. Are you happy to see more multiverse in the cinema, or are you feeling a bit bored by the idea like me? If you have watched Doctor Strange, what's your opinion of it? Leave me a comment below. Like this video and subscribe if you enjoyed watching this episode or you've gained some new visual literacy insight. In this upcoming June, I'm going to present some very exciting new content. Stay tuned. Bye!